Asking an author what his favorite book that he wrote is kind of like asking a parent who their favorite child is. They're going to insist that they love all of them equally, whereas your kids are going to be very, very certain that they know who the favorite is. With my Roadhouse Sun series, it's a toss-up between two as far as my favorite. One, obviously, is the first book in the series, Dangerous Gambles. That is where I not just introduce the characters to you, I was introducing them to me because I was doing a seat of the pants style at the time. And I didn't know who was going to be the strong character, who was the one I was going to like, who was going to be an ancillary character, who was going to be a main character. Well, I kind of knew who the main character was going to be, but others sort of fought for dominance. The next one was a couple of books further on, and it was called Codename Wanderer. And that was one where everybody was really developed. They had, between that book and the previous one, there was a gap of a few years in the storyline. And they had stepped back, and now they're stepping into it, stepping back. They're realizing that they have an ability, and their abilities are actually being recognized. And so they're going in with a lot more confidence. They're going in with a maturity that they didn't have in the previous books. And they're going in with a determination. They realize they have a job to do, not just be a musician, but also helping somebody escape from East Berlin into the West. There's a lot of stuff for them to do, and the stakes are very high. And rather than saying, no, man, we don't want to do this, they said, all right, let's go. Their confidence, if you want to say it, really rubbed off on me. I enjoyed writing that book, and I enjoyed reading that book, and I enjoy rereading that book. I also enjoy rereading Dangerous Gambles because I almost know how the story is going to play out. But if I had to pick two of my fiction books, it would be Dangerous Gambles and Codename Wanderer. As far as my nonfiction, it's one that I'm working on a second printing of, and that is The History of Burke, Vermont, in the Shadow of Old Burke Mountain. When I'm going through a rough time, sitting down and reading that, hearing old familiar names and seeing old familiar sights go through my mind is something that's very comforting. And that's kind of what it's supposed to be for people that grew up there. And it's supposed to be something to spark the interest of people who hadn't. Who are these people? What are these things that they're talking about? What are these places that they're describing? Get somebody motivated to go up and ride the Kingdom Trails and check out all these places. Drive around some fall afternoon when the foliage is at its peak and go through the old cemeteries and see those names. So yeah, I suppose I have three. Dangerous Gambles, Codename Wanderer, and In the Shadow of Old Burke Mountain.